Welcome back, everyone. Here we are, a new episode of Female Founders Through the Pandemic. I really hope you're enjoying the series, and today we are here with Melanie. As you know by now, I let my guests introduce themselves because they do a much better job than what I could ever do. So over to Melanie.
Hi everyone, I hope we're well and keeping safe. I'm Melanie Lomax and I am a coach for women. And it's really exciting actually that Fran asked me onto this, because since the whole pandemic, a lot of things have really pivoted my business, and we were getting really excited prior to recording as we were talking about it. So I'm really excited to sort of share that with you and the impact that it's had. So would you like me to tell a little bit about my background and my details?
Yes, do tell us a bit about your background and how your business works.
Okay, so I started off my working adult career as a learning and development professional. So what that meant was I was working in corporate businesses as training design, training deliverer, facilitator, leadership coach. Very, very many different hats, but obviously through rigorous assessments and observations. And in my corporate life, as I like to call it, because it's very different to how I am now, I never felt truly aligned to be the person that I wanted to be. I knew I loved to help people be creative. I knew I loved them having those light bulb learning moments for themselves, and I loved to coach people to get them through challenges and barriers and limiting beliefs. So for me, that was really important. But being stuck in a corporate world, it doesn't give you as much scope and opportunity. Anyway, long story short, because I can talk, I ended up about 5 years ago, I was made redundant. And actually it came at a really good time because my network of contacts had grown and I decided to become a freelance consultant. Which was great because it gave me so much scope in terms of working with different companies, different types of people. My network grew, and for me, I thrive. I love a lot of face-to-face stuff. That's where you get me at my best. I'm just bounding full of energy all the time, and it was great. But then at the beginning of last year, 2019, what I found was through the whole Brexit scenario, the first thing that dries up in any business is the funds for training and coaching.
And marketing.
Yeah, they are the first things to go, and it's beyond belief because actually it's such a crucial part of making a business work because it's so people focused. It's understanding how to get people feel like they, are a valuable part of that business, delivering great service, creating great sales. And obviously everything that I did and working with private clients was working from board level down, because if a business has a vision, then they need to understand how do they communicate that, how do they get their people involved, how do they engage them, how do we coach them in the right way. So I love that stuff, but what I obviously found was many women who are working women, especially like in leadership roles and up to senior roles, they have to wear so many different hats. So when we be doing these programs, I would often end up coaching from a very personal perspective, and that had so much impact. And then obviously being in the situation last year and work drying up, I was like, I need to diversify. This isn't sustainable for me to be a one-man band freelance consultant, because I know, history repeats itself. When the money dries up, it's the first thing to go. So how do I do this? How do I make an impact? And for quite a long time, I had followed a number of people in the online industry. And they're very, very good at what they do. They're very, very good at marketing. They're very, very good at, delivering key messages. And I was like, I really need to understand this, because this is where I feel like I have messages that I can help deliver and women that I can really support through periods of different types of change in their life. So long story short, I decided I'm going to invest, because it's always important to me to be invested in my own self-development, to break through to the next level, because without that we just end up playing small and get very stuck in our comfort zones and unable to move forward. So I thought, right, I'm going to do it, I'm going to invest. So I did. And, you know, thinking back from where I was last year to where I am now, there is nothing I can't tell you about, you know, Facebook advertising, the whole click funnels, lead pages, active campaign, automations. And I wouldn't mind, I am not a techie person. It is something I completely go, oh, that's not my cup of tea. You know, I am, get me in there, get me with the people, you know. But I've mastered it, which was brilliant. And obviously I've been able to share some freebies and share courses. But what I have now, and this is the really interesting bit. So as the pandemic hit, a lot of my face-to-face stuff was immediately cancelled.
Yeah, that's the same for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's immediately cancelled. So I'm thinking, okay, if my face-to-face stuff, you know, working with women in businesses can't go ahead, I still have all this online ability. And for me, I'm a networker. I love to network. I love to meet new, inspiring women who've had journeys and love to share it. And I thought, what a great opportunity we have to make a difference. And it was a three-pronged attack. So this started just as we were coming up to lockdown. We hadn't quite been locked down. And I thought, I want to connect with women, expand my network. I want to find go-to experts in their own field, and I want to be able to collaborate with them. And the reason for that is because visibility in an online world is massive. If you're not visible and you're not consistent, then you fall off the place of the world, you know, and people don't know you're there, and they don't. And
I think that this specific moment is proving that.
Absolutely. So I thought, what a great idea. So I put a bit of a help ad out on LinkedIn, which basically said, look, I'm looking for brilliant female entrepreneurs who, you know, are skilled at X, Y, and Z. I'd really love you to be able to come and help deliver some sessions, because last year I set up a group in Facebook, recently rebranded, called the MPower Hair Collective. And it organically grew very quickly to about 1,300, nearly 1,400 women now. And they're a really mixed bag of varying ages, from about the age of 25 right up to 65. We've got, you know, professional working women, we've got single mums, we've got women just looking for some inspiration, and we all come together. And I thought, I really want to be able to give these women an opportunity to see other inspiring women, but also have a variety of educators in their field, because we don't know how long this is going to last, and we don't know what our future could potentially look like as we come out of this. So there's a lot, for me, I knew there was a lot of stress, there was a lot of panicking, you know, fear, scarcity, all of that stuff. So over the last few weeks, it's been amazing, because I've been able to connect with fantastic women who have, you know, wholeheartedly thrown themselves into this. And, you know, we've done lots of recordings to upload. We've had people from an interior design background, spiritual coaches, geomancers. I've got career coaches in there, mindset coaches. There's a bit of everything. And it's truly inspiring, because these women are being educated and inspired to also take some action and to start thinking about, what do I want to do? You know, because I truly believe now that there is a pause on the universe that is giving everybody some food for thought. And what I would say is, if you've got some hopes and dreams and aspirations, now is your time to really start thinking and getting planned, so you can make the good stuff happen. So yes,
it's like so this new group you created, well, the group was already there, but you kind of shifted it into some sort of a big training pool where people can pick and choose what they like, etc. It's a brilliant idea, and I think more and more as I interview women and as I look around and things, I see, we were talking about this with the last lady I interviewed, Caroline, the amount of people who actually are out there ready to help has shown that people really are okay with giving themselves and helping when they can, even without being paid, really, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, and that's it. Nobody is being paid for their time or their efforts, because I think there's that whole piece of, if you are a female entrepreneur, have an exposure to a decent sized group, plus I promoted their appearance on all the different social media platforms as well. It's creating a visibility and it's creating interest, and it gives my ladies go-to experts as well for different things. So it's all helping one another, because I am a big believer in working collaboratively over than in competition with somebody.
Yeah, I agree. Collaboration, not competition.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So obviously moving everything online was one big step for someone who works face-to-face like you. What were the other big changes? Were there any other big changes that you had to make? Obviously you created this pool of knowledge and you moved everything online. Anything else that changed, maybe in the way you work or in the services you offer?
Yeah, so one, and it's actually really, really interesting, because this is extremely current, based on all the conversations and stuff that I've had. So what I've found is, since we've gone on lockdown, I've had numerous amounts of women who our paths have maybe crossed in the past, or they follow me on LinkedIn, reach out to me to say, how do you do this? And I'm like, what do you mean, how do we do this? And it's like, how do you have this energy? How are you so confident? Where do I start? Because I've got these thoughts and ideas, but I don't know whether I can. And there's a real fear. Sometimes there's a fear of, committing themselves and taking a risk and taking a chance. There's that whole ego thing about, well, what will people think of me? Am I credible enough to do this? And my answer is yes. You are an expert in what you know and what you have experienced. And if you have a message or a service that can provide someone else and impact their lives tremendously, then yes, you have an opportunity. And I think social media, people, you can either love it or hate it. But when you have an online business, the important piece is that you show up as you, that you are genuinely authentic and human, and you're prepared to actually, peel back the layers, if you like, to create that connection. And sometimes people are a little bit scared of that. So over the conversations that I've had, I'm now mentoring several ladies who have some thoughts and ideas, seedlings of ideas, to work with them, to really give them the confidence and to help them, one, craft who their ideal client is, to craft what are their core values and their ethics, because that is hugely important. If you are going to provide a service, you absolutely need to be showing up. Nobody gets rich quick overnight. It just doesn't happen unless you win the lottery, right? So if you're wanting to do something because you're desperate to make money, you're going to fail, because your mindset isn't in the right place. Yeah. So this is massively important. So there's a lot of groundwork that we're doing. But what I've also noticed from heavily investing in myself, and this came to me towards the end of last year as a real gap that was missing, and I really wanted to support women with this, and it links in nicely to this piece, is that a lot of the gurus out there in the industry will say, get visible, get live, get out there with content. And that is a really scary thought. Not one of those industry experts can show you how. How do you become confident? How do you know that your message is landed? how do you build confidence to live stream? So my thought process is now changing where I'm thinking of going and how I can support women, because now is the time. We know online is a huge slice of the pie, especially if you're thinking that you've got a seed of an idea. It's huge, but you need confidence and you need support. And actually, you know, I've been 23 years in the making. I've gone through all the development. I've had all the assessments. I have observed, I've, you know, trained up, assessed people, signed people off. And I thought, what a wonderful idea if we can create something for women to create that confidence, so that they know how to design something brilliantly, that they know how to live stream and show up, but they have a safe space to do it. So the thought process is that through all the training that I can give them, they then have role play practice through Zoom, and we have classes and live workshops. And then I also have a test group, test audience, that we can get them comfortable and get them doing their first lives, and they get complete in the moment feedback. So, and they, you know, they get to learn, you know, what went well, what do I maybe need to think about, how do I need to maybe prepare. We also have hundreds of different topics that you can help to engage your audience, because people think, well, if this is my message, so it could be someone who is really passionate about, you know, supporting women who've been through domestic violence. They're thinking, well, this is how big my content is, so how do I keep engaging people? That's fine, because we know how to do that, and there are skills and techniques that you could go on daily lives if you wanted to. I'll never run out, because it's always about the engagement and how people connect with you. So so it's been, I would say, a pivot. But had that pandemic not happened, would I be where I am right now? I don't know.
Fantastic. I really like that.
I did say a talk.
I really like that. And obviously, my next question is usually, of all of this, what you're going to bring into the post-pandemic. But I suppose the answer to this is everything.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm such a passionate person, and I love to see people succeed. That's where I get my personal kicks, you know. And I do lots and lots of stuff for free too. But I've got to think about, you know, as an online business, this is an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to have the network that I've expanded to still have those professionals and those experts in their industry, but to support them. So there's constant sharing of clients, or go-to, you know, if I can help you with one thing, my go-to skills are this, but I'm not a PR and media expert. I know somebody who you can follow, who's going to blow your mind and be able to give you what you need in that area.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So this has been an interview full of positives, but we always end with 3. So if you had to pick the top 3 positives that came out of the situation, they don't have to be business, as you know, they can be personal and business, they can be a mix, just one or just the other. Your top 3.
Okay, my top 3 is, first of all, become really self-aware about what your little voice is telling you, because it likes to tell us lies and it likes to hold us back and keep us playing small. It's about learning to separate that and thinking about what you can do and what you will do, and be really affirmative in what you're saying you're wanting to achieve. Second thing is now is your time. If you have that little butterflying feeling in your stomach, you think, I'd really love to do this, now is your time. You aren't going to change anything if you wait. That's the second. And third of all is go and invest in yourself. If you want to get new skills to do something, if you need help or support, reach out, go to experts, get yourself a coach. There's nothing like investing in yourself, so do it.
I wholeheartedly agree. Absolutely agree with all of them. And if people want to reach out, if they want to get involved in your project, if they just want to come and have a mooch on your profiles, website, social media, etc., where do they find you?
Okay, so website is www.melanilomax.com. I am all over the social media channels, so feel free to friend request me. It's Melanie Lomax, that's my personal profile. I also have a business page, which is Melanie Lomax, the Changemaker for Women. And if you would love to join our empowerment group, it is, which is a Facebook group. This is where you're going to see lots of other women delivering sessions and learning lots. It is spelled M, then Power, capital H for Hair Collective, so Empower Hair Collective. You can also find me on LinkedIn, Melanie Lomax, Instagram, Melanie Lomax Coaching, and Twitter, Melanie Lomax 7. There you go.
That's really good. Really, really good. Listen, it has been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. And I think every one of these interviews really helps inspiring women and helping them if they're stuck, or if, you know, they're having a moment where they really don't know what to do. I think every single one of the women I've interviewed has brought an incredible amount of positivities and ideas. So thank you very much for contributing to this. And I will speak to you very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.